My parents moved to the U.S. from China when I, 28 male, was 6. They quickly befriended another Chinese couple once they arrived. The other couple had a son, David, my age, and we also became friends. I had a typical Asian childhood. There was immense pressure put on me to earn top grades and get into a top-ranked college. Like many other Asian kids, I took violin lessons and started prepping for the SAT in middle school. To make everything worse, David was always slightly better than me at academics and violin. "Why can't you be more like David?" was a phrase I heard hundreds of times. As college decisions came in during my senior year of high school, David was accepted at Harvard, MIT, and many other top schools. I was rejected everywhere except for my safety school. As a result, Mom broke down crying every day because I was a failure in her eyes, and Dad called me a disgrace because he spent so much of his hard-earned money on my violin lessons, SAT prep, and college counseling, and I only had an XYZ state university acceptance to show for it. My parents then decided that I was untrustworthy of my college fund and used it to go on a cruise because they deserved something nice after wasting 18 years of effort on a disappointment. I went no contact with my parents when I started college. College was hard. I worked nearly full-time to afford rent, and even then, I had to take out loans for tuition. It took me longer than usual to graduate, but I did it, and I'm currently working as a software engineer at an insurance company. I make less than someone who works in big tech, but I'm doing okay. Meanwhile, David graduated from MIT and Harvard Medical School, and he's currently in a neurosurgery residency. About a year ago, my parents told me that they wanted to reconcile. They apologized for what they put me through in high school and offered to pay off my student loans, $30K. I accepted their offer, and for the past year, I truly believed that our relationship was improving. David recently got engaged. Both my parents and I were invited to the engagement party. There, my dad told David's parents that they were lucky because they raised a son who could soon buy them luxury cars and first-class plane tickets to China. My mom then said, "We weren't as lucky, unfortunately." I almost lost it then and there, but I held it in. When we got back to my parents' house, I completely lost it, saying that they had no right to compare me to David when they hung me out to dry in college, while David could just focus solely on school since his parents paid for everything: tuition, rent, and food. I could have gone to medical school if I received the same support that David did. I soon realized that I was not a superhuman who could juggle working nearly full-time, getting enough sleep, and earning A's in pre-med classes. And the only disappointments and disgraces in the family were them, because they only cared about material things and prestige. Well, my friends and I were born 3 weeks apart. Our parents are the same age and went to university and grad school together. My parents have compared us all my life, and it's, "You can't take criticism," if I talk back about it. However, if I compare their parenting to their best friends, "You're such a disrespectful son." He went to the Ivy League. I went to a state school. He works on Wall Street, and I work in sales. We make about the same income, but my parents still consider me a disappointment. Yet, they wonder why I'm no contact. You'll feel a lot better once you cut that toxicity out of your life. Accept the loan repayment as the most you'll ever get from them. Money is all they value, and that's what they give you. It's payment for your pain and suffering. If they want a real relationship, they'll have to earn it. You are not the idiot. Wow, I never understood parents who choose to put their children down, especially in front of them and other people. Don't deserve a college fund because they didn't get into an Ivy League school? That's cruel. And with the assumption about David and his ability to buy his parents luxury things means they think of the kids as an investment. Like, if I pay for them to have these lessons and make sure that they're smart and successful, they'll be able to buy me these kinds of things and give me bragging rights. That's not love. There are many paths to success, not just the one your parents want. I go no contact again. A little under 5 years ago, I, 48 male, divorced my ex-wife, Denise, 46. We have a daughter named Emily, teen, and although she primarily lives with Denise, I'm still very much a part of her life. Emily and I had a very strong relationship until last year when I started dating my fiancée, Adriana, female 33. Adriana and I had very different lives before we started dating. While I work as a corporate executive, Adriana is a single mother with 2 kids, a female teen and a preteen male, and she works as a secretary at my company, different departments, so our relationship's completely above board. Because her kid's father isn't in the picture, I've begun to step up a little with her kids to take care of them, though this hasn't impacted my relationship with Emily. However, both Denise and Emily dislike Adriana, as Denise thinks she's loose, while Emily thinks that she's after my, and by extension, her money. The age gap probably plays into this heavily. Also, Emily doesn't interact with Adriana's kids, ignoring them completely when they're in the same place. After Adriana and I got engaged last month, I pulled Emily aside and told her that I wanted her to have some sort of relationship with Raquel, Adriana's daughter. I understand her son is not interacting as much, as she's twice his age, and they have little in common, but Raquel looks up to Emily, despite how she treats her. I told her that she didn't have to be a big sister or even a friend to Raquel, but I thought they'd benefit from talking to one another. Emily refused and walked off after that, claiming she wanted nothing to do with that gold digger's kids. I don't plan to force Emily to do anything she doesn't want to, but I still think she's being unnecessarily cruel. Edit. I go to all her soccer games and try to meet her for lunch or dinner once a week. You are the idiot. You've been dating your fiancé for a year, got engaged, and threw everyone together. And you're surprised as to why your daughter thinks this is rushed? For all she knows, you've been having an affair with a work colleague for years and pretended this is new. To her, this new fiancé can be a homewrecker. Well-off man gets engaged after only a year to a woman 15 years his junior who works in his company, but in a different department, so it's totally not sus. I think she's pregnant too. Makes sense why it's rushed and why he's pushing the relationship. He wants to make sure that the new baby has a happy family to be born into. Ding, ding, ding. I think your idea fills in the missing square on the bingo card. A tale as old as time. Never ends with a happily ever after. You are the idiot. Your daughter's well within her right not to have anything to do with those kids. It's gross of you to force it after she's made it clear she doesn't want one. I hope you don't mess up your relationship with your daughter more than you already have. I do want to point out that going to her games, where she's playing and can't interact with you, and trying to have dinner once a week is nowhere near the same amount of time she got while sharing a home with you. I'm guessing your daughter didn't kick up a fuss about your relationship before Family 2.0 because she got all your family's attention. But now it's not even that it'll be split, but you will for sure be a more present father to someone else's kids when what you've described your current relationship as is what my kids have with their grandparents. I don't know. I don't think it's the fiancé. It's you, my guy. It's not your job to make up for their deadbeat dad. It is your job to be a father to your daughter. My friend Dahlia, 21 female, and I, 22 female, have been living in an apartment my parents owned for college. We split utility bills while she also pays $300 for rent. It's a 2-bedroom, living room, kitchen, and 1.5 bathrooms in a nice area. $300 is not nearly how much rent for that place would cost under normal circumstances. Nevertheless, our parents are civil with each other, so the massive discount was agreed upon on the premise that we split utilities. I don't pay rent as my parents own it, but I work and spend my own money on daily needs and groceries. Dahlia doesn't. Her parents pay for everything. For a year now, Dahlia's been inviting her college friend, whom I'll call Anna, to study at our place, sometimes sleeping over. Anna lives off campus, but in a really dodgy area, with her older brother and his friend. More than a month ago, Dahlia asked if Anna could stay over for a week. I told her no problem, because I had a vacation set for the time. When I got back 9 days later, she was still at our place, so I asked Dahlia when Anna was going home, as I had planned for my friend to come over for the weekend. She told me Anna got into a fight with her brother and didn't want to be there right now. I was annoyed, but I never found an issue with Anna, so I just asked her to leave by the end of the week. She didn't. 3 weeks passed, and bills came in almost double what they were previously. I sat down with Dahlia and gave her a rundown of the bills, and she seemed surprised. She said to me, "I'm not paying that much." I looked at her and joked, "Yeah, you're not. Your dad is." Dahlia got angry and entered her room. I thought the joke didn't land well, so I knocked on her door to apologize, but I overheard Dahlia ranting about how I don't even pay for anything, so I wouldn't understand why her parents were mad. I entered the room, told Anna to pack up her stuff and leave. She seemed embarrassed, but 20 minutes later she left. I asked Dahlia what she meant by that, and she said, "The bills are twice as much as last month, and Dad's going insane over why he has to pay this much when you've even had a guest over." I told her she'd be a hypocrite if she thought my friend staying over for a weekend affected the bills nearly as much as Anna living here for a month. She told me I was heartless for blaming Anna, who was having a hard time, for the increased bills, and screamed I should contribute more to them. Then she called her dad in the bathroom and demanded that I pay rent too, because it was unfair. I told her she was insane if she thought I'd pay rent in my apartment and that she had until the start of the semester to find another place and move out. Dahlia started crying and throwing some towels on the ground. She did move out a few days ago. We haven't spoken since, but Anna texted me, apologizing for burdening me. My parents told me it wasn't my decision, even though they agreed. Now I'm not sure if I was an idiot for making her move out or for how I acted towards both her and Anna. Not the idiot. It's pure logic. People are too soft and illogical these days. If she feels so inclined to help someone out, then she should do so from her own pocket. It's done and sorted. Move on and study well. Yeah, it's always easy to be generous when it's someone else's money. This isn't about whether you were mean to Anna. It's about Dahlia trying to change the agreement already in place. First, by moving in with another person, and second, by not agreeing to pay her half of the utilities. Ignore the sour grapes of people upset that your parents can afford to buy you a place. This is open and shut about Dahlia trying to change the agreement when it no longer suited her. Everyone's the idiot here. You had no business evicting your rent-paying friend because you didn't have that right. Your roommate was actually renting from your parents, not you, so you shouldn't have thought you had the authority to ask her to leave. Instead, it would have been best to take this matter to your parents to handle. Likely, they could have worked things out better than they stand now. I'm sorry things have deteriorated so badly, and I hope with some adult intervention that you can repair your relationship and try again, this time with a clearer understanding of how things should work. My girlfriend, 29, and I, 30 male, have been dating for 2 years now. I recently took my girlfriend on a getaway weekend, nothing fancy, just a 4-day weekend to the Hilton Hotel, going on fun outings she mentioned she wanted to do, like ice skating, dancing, painting, and other fun activities. I am in love with this beautiful woman. Before we started dating, we worked at the same job together and have been friends for a long time. I soon had a crush on her because she was so cool to talk to and to be around. I was also friends with her ex-boyfriend. They'd been broken up for over a year or two by the time I started liking her. And I wanted to ask the ex-boyfriend, since we were friends, would it be okay if I asked her on a date? He said absolutely and had no problems with me and her possibly dating one another. A day later, I asked her to a drive-in theater movie, and she said yes. And after that first movie date, we made the drive-in theater our weekend thing, and we would also go out to eat or to comic conventions and anywhere we spent time together. I wanted to make it official one day, so I asked her if she'd like to be my girlfriend, and she said she wanted to remain just friends. Although it hurt a little, I was absolutely fine with her decision. We still continued our weekend movie nights and outings, but every once in a while, she would show signs that she liked me. She wouldn't let others talk to me, or if I mentioned a girl I thought was cute, she would say under her breath, "She better stay away from my man." So catching these hints, I stopped talking to other girls and didn't bother to ask any other girl out, thinking she wanted to go out with me. I asked her to be my girlfriend again, but again, she said she just wanted to be friends. A few weeks later, she quit the job we worked at together and found a new job, but we'd still hang out on the weekends. One day, I was out running errands and saw her on a date with someone. I didn't approach them, of course, but I have a rule not to go out to movies or any other date-like activities with a girl who has a boyfriend or is dating in respect for the boyfriend. So I stopped inviting her to our weekend hangouts without telling her why. She didn't mind because her attention was on this other guy. I wanted to give her and the guy I thought she was dating their space. 3 months passed of us not texting or hanging out, and out of the blue, she texted me, asking if we could hang out and catch up and chat. I said yes, of course, and we did. After that, we started hanging out again, going to the movie together, or she'd come over to my place almost every day, and we'd watch movies there until 12 or 1 a.m. And once again, she would drop hints that she liked me, but I wasn't going to ask her out a third time, just in case I was wrong. If she liked me, she'd have to ask me out. And after about 4 months, she finally did. I said yes almost immediately. This brings us to her telling me that our weekend getaway, the entire time we were hanging out before we got together, she was dating and sleeping with other guys. And around the time I asked her ex-boyfriend if I could date her, they were still sleeping together while we were going out to the drive-in theaters and spending the weekends together. Even during the months of her coming to my place and hanging out till midnight, after the 3-month gap of us not talking, she was still sleeping with other guys. She told me she didn't want any other girls talking to me because she liked me the entire time we were hanging out. She just wasn't ready for a relationship. But once she went to her new job, she jumped into a 4-month relationship. Even the night before she asked me to be her boyfriend, she went on a date and slept with a guy. She was hoping for a second date with him, but he ghosted her. She told me she liked that I was nice to her, but wanted to have intimacy without any attachment, which is why she slept with another guy while hanging out with me. So, am I the idiot for wanting to break up with her after finding out she used me and making me her last resort? OP, I've been through something like this before. I'm going to start off by saying that you're not the idiot. What this looks like to me is that the girl is very aware that you like her, and she enjoys the level of attention that you're giving her. She knows you're an ego boost that she can just keep in her back pocket, and because of that, she won't let you move on to other girls and makes you think that you have a chance with her. Do not play these games, OP. This isn't right. She slept with someone the day before asking you to be her boyfriend. She slept with a guy, got ghosted the next morning, went to your place, and asked you to be her boyfriend. If he hadn't ghosted her, she wouldn't have gone to OP's and asked him. She would have kept him on the sideline. She's a mega idiot. The issue isn't her sleeping with the other people. It's the manipulation and making sure that OP wasn't. It sounds like she strung OP along. She knew he liked her, wanted movies and essentially dates with OP, but zero commitment so that she could go on wild escapades. Don't date this girl and stop being friends with her ex, who continued to sleep with her after you checked in with him if you could ask her out. You aren't a plan A or even a plan B. You're like a plan C. Are you really happy being the last choice?